a little bit concerned about the innocent ones in these societies, in these sort of cults, because I feel like they're the scapegoats. This dark energy, this dark elite energy, they're talking, they're discussing satellite weapons not working, cleaning houses, destroying evidence. The fact that I was focused on they're going to start taking out their own. I'm wondering if this is what they're doing, or this is how they're going to clean their houses and destroy the evidence, is also the people. Then I was oh Jesus, Mary and Joseph. There's a power surge happening. I feel like that's to do with the war structure being restructured. Ooh. What you've got to understand is the bad corrupted ones they've always worked with the lower dense sort of extraterrestrials. You know, just because we can't prove it doesn't mean it's not true. But a lot of the intelligence that they get to create and build what they do, but you've also got to remember there are higher dimensional extraterrestrials that also watch and observe. And they don't work with dark human beings like corrupted ones, bad ones. It's all about intention. So they will use their representatives here on Earth, and then they'll send the intelligence out, but to sort of, again, but what's going on right now is there's such a huge focus. I want to know why there's such a huge focus on the ocean, because it feels like if
I am Karen the Enforcer, and I will ensure the truth is spoken.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Karen Mikowski, aka Butterfly Karen. Welcome. So, welcome to my virtual office again. This is a Red Files case, and tonight we are going to be working on RTRV02. So, before I even get started, let me clock in. Ooh la la. Right. So, it is Monday, January the 12th, 2026. I'm clocking in at 7:55 p.m. On 12:26. Right. So just in case I start rattling on. Well, interesting. Now, this case. There's going to be a new Army sit rep coming through as well. Kind of felt that all day. I was deep in meditation earlier, and I was sort of getting the downloads and, well and truly connected to the higher order. So, obviously these will have reports with them, but they'll go into the report books. So, it's interesting because I would say nearly a week ago, I was getting the dark elites were sabotaging the satellite grid. Now, that was kind of coming after when I did the green file case, the IRDR, I believe it was IRDR 79. Let me just quickly check. yeah, the update on the warning. I was discussing IIDA 79. I was discussing there was going to be an interference with the satellite grid. Basically every single satellite, global satellite, was going to get shut off, shut down for 60 seconds. And you can go and watch that video to sort of catch up. And then the RTRV01.1, I just completed the first red file. There was a huge emphasis on interference with the satellite system, because I was going more into a possible plot against President Trump for political prisoner exchange. It's all to do with an extraction and all this kind of stuff. But prior to that, I knew I was getting the hits that the dark elites were about to, or they're going to, sabotage the satellite grid. So there's clearly something going on that they don't. I mean, if you understand what's going on right now, you're talking, well, they're like war, don't they? They're like war. You're talking the deep state, the wrong ones, those with the law, the machine. You know, the war is a business. But we've got to remember, you know, President Trump, he wanted no wars. He didn't want any wars, but it's like he's caught up in almost all of these wars that have been just suddenly fabricated, and it's been completely sabotaged. And unfortunately, it's not just by it's by his own team. It's by, not all of them, thank God, but I feel like what was coming through earlier was he has got to really look at who's around him, because it's almost like those he believes he can trust are the ones he should not be trusting at all. So I want to get more intel. I want to go deeper. I want to figure out what else is going on with the satellite grid. Now, there is going to be, the higher order is going to be intervening with because they're going to be inserting new codes into the satellite system. So I'm kind of wondering if, and you know, remember when I'm sort of online, my frequency like hits those dimensions, the dark elites tend to try and tap in. So it's almost, I mean, there may be the intel I was sort of putting out there, they may be freaking out, like trying to, I feel like there's a lot of psychological warfare going on right now, and there are a lot of paranoid people within that sort of the dark elites in the lower order anyway. And obviously there's a lot of paranoid people right now within that deep state, so that's why they're sort of really going to town, aren't they? And they're really doing everything they can to sabotage President Trump's presidency, and you know, but it's more than that. It's like, well, how do we counteract what's coming that we can't control? That's kind of what it's feeling. So, and they can't control what's coming. Not when because the coding is going to be implemented, it's for the sake of us all. So, and it's all to do with, you know, part of this sort of like artificial, there's a lot going on with AI, and I really don't want to get too much into it. I'll probably focus on I'll do a full red file intel at some point, you know, regards to AI, but I am bringing it in sporadically. So, it's like they're trying to take counteractive measures again, because it's almost like everything that AI is doing, they're creating with AI, you know, you've got the good people, you've got the good ones creating great AI, right? You know, you got to take, but you know, the good with the bad, unfortunately. You create an amazing thing, it's going to be weaponized and abused by humans. That's just what we do. But then you've got the other side going, well, we're going to weaponize it, we're going to use it to protect us, we're going to use it to hide behind, like, when it's because I feel like there's so much going to be coming out about these sort of people in the coming years, especially in the next 2 to 3 years, and there's going to be so much like visual evidence and everything, but they're going to go right to, well, it could just be AI. That's the coding is going to be it's going to cause the distortion, so they can't use that to get away from being basically punished, basically receiving justice. But you know, we had to remember the laws of the land on this planet right now, they are so corrupted, so you can't expect to be getting you can't expect justice with corrupted justice systems in any country. It's just the way it is. So, and they, again, you've got to understand the architects behind those. You know, you've got the good lawyers, and you've got the good, and you've got the bad ones. You've got the good judges, you've got the bad ones. You've got, you know, good law enforcement, you've got the bad ones. So, there's always going to be that sort of corruption, but there is an intervention going on right now. There is a divine intervention. You know, it's trickling in. It's like trickling big time. So I want to get a. I'll probably connect to the new army, the Planton Warriors, and just sort of see what they're seeing in the skies and in space, in you know, see what's going on in those dimensions. They'll let me know if there's anything being pre-planned, but I do want to focus on the satellite issue, because it's coming through it's like the dark elites, the bad people, right? And remember, they're not in just one country, these dark elites, they are global. They rule the world, they run the world. I think they're trying to rule it, but they can't rule it because we've still got free will and all that beautiful stuff. But they run it, obviously. And their agendas and everything are just falling apart. They're just losing control. But that kind of tells you that the good side is really fighting back. I know we're not seeing like major results right now, but you know, remember, it's going to get worse before it gets better anyway, so it is a bit more chaotic than normal. We've already had like the chaos and madness has kicked in. So, and then we remember we're not just dealing with the sort of chaos and madness, and we're also dealing with serious mental health crises too, because that mental health model completely is a joke. That model has failed completely. So, and the evidence is in your face, it's right there. And I'm all for, I want people to get help, I do, but research your therapists, do your research on your doctors that you're seeing and everything. I don't trust most of them at all, because as far as I'm concerned, especially the ones that are younger than me, I won't go see a therapist younger than me. No way, you're joking, right? They haven't lived long enough to know about real life, not really. And secondly, they've been indoctrinated into a terrible education system, well and truly indoctrinated, right? Then completely regulated by the old system, right? The dark elite, secondly, and they're being initiated. So, and part of their sort of licenses, their license structure, hell no, not for me. So that I want to see change in the future. I'm not saying I'm not recommending therapists and doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and stuff, but do your research. But for me, someone at my age, I wouldn't go and see a therapist younger than me, not a chance in hell. But that's just my personal opinion, that's all. I don't care how qualified they are. They may be qualified on paper, but they're not qualified at life. And if they haven't, and secondly, if they haven't dealt with no. Textbook is not everything. So that's just weird. But don't get me wrong, at the same time, there's some great minds out there. That's why you've got to do your research. And we all know now, especially in the Western, just look at the state of the medical healthcare. It's a business. It's not about healthcare, it's business. What's the same with mental health? It's a business. So just remember that as you sort of, you know, there's different ways of healing too, but you've got to get help. If you do need mental health help, you do need to seek it, you need to get it. But the model that's being created for us, it's breakdowns, it's failing. And now, when you understand the crooked justice systems too, they're really pushing that mental health into the justice system. So it's almost like, well, if you claim you've got a mental health problem, you can get away with practically murder, depending on, so here in the States as well, depending on what state you're in. But across the board, there are certain, there's certain things that they will allow because no, I don't agree with that. So, because it's used, it's weaponized. Mental health is weaponized by the very creatures that design the models in the first place. So that's just my stance on that. So I'm a little bit suspicious, but not all. Again, you're going to get them. You have to take the good with the bad, because they're there. It's everywhere. So we are really dealing with we're seeing a major pushback right now. The problem is when you're dealing with like evil people, they thrive, they need power. Their existence is based off power, money, control and perversions. The perversion of power paradigm, that's what they function for. That's the paradigm they fuel off. That's what they live by. So everything to do with that is part of that paradigm, that perversion of power. And it's the power that they are losing. And without power, they're nothing. They're irrelevant. They're nowhere. And they're just, and they may have a lot of money, but without the power, they're just irrelevant rich people. That's all. But then the skeletons in the, okay, here we go. Keep it coming. It's coming through. Skeletons. I almost hit on this in a recent video. Skeletons and closets opening. I'm telling you, so many people have got skeletons in their closets. Look, right, we all have a past, but nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect human being, right? But there are some extremes, and then there's just things that if you're ashamed of your past, or you're ashamed of what you've done, right? And then you think that you're going to hide them in the closet, right? And then hope they're skeletalized, you know, that they won't. No, that's not how it works. There's no shame. There should never be any shame. I mean, I don't live by shame or regret. I absolutely do not. But what you'll find is the people that are the biggest traumatizers, and those that want to hurt others, and those that want to destroy people's lives, have got the most fucking skeletons in the closets. And they think, well, as long as my skeletons stay hidden, nobody's going to really see and know who and what I really am. Well, you know, unfortunately, when it comes to cause and effect, you're creating your own pattern, you know, your behavioural pattern. You only have to follow just basic pattern recognition to understand how that always turns out. So I'll never understand what, but again, it's the arrogance of the level of power that they've taken or they've been given. And this is what they do. They distort their egos, and they're basically functioning off that unhealthy ego, and that's it. They think, well, we can just control everything. But it's okay, you know, we're so rich and powerful. We've got all of these skeletons in our closets. Like, we can control anybody trying to open the closets. I don't think so. These closets, everyday people too, not just like people in powerful positions, everyday people. They're everywhere. People have got scared. If you're so worried about your past, and you're so worried about how people are going to perceive you, and etc., and you're so worried about what people think, then live differently. Why would you want to have? Why would you need to have? And so what if you've got skeletons? Just own it, own it. You know. Because if you don't, you're going to be subject to blackmail, and that's what's happening right now. That's a big problem within the dark elite system right now. Ooh. Ooh, I was hitting on that recently as well, blackmail. I even said I would never let anybody blackmail me. You're joking, right? Well, one, I don't have skeletons in my closet anyway. And secondly, you're joking, right? Tot right off. I don't think so. No, you can't be, because why would you want to live like that? And now the only reason you're getting blackmailed is because you've probably done something wrong, or you're doing something. You're trying to hide your skeletons in your closet. Anybody comes to you, I don't care who you are at this point, regardless of what you've done, you're gonna have to take accountability, right? Because if anybody comes to you with the intent of blackmailing you, that's when you want to tell them to tot right off, and then just go public, like tell the world I'm being blackmailed because I did this. Own it. You're probably going to get, well, depending on what it is you've done, but if it's nothing major, I mean, we've got the whole sextortion and everything. You know, you can't trust people right now. You can't trust men or women. You can't be trusting having relationships with people because you don't know what they're secretly recording behind your back or anything. You don't know what they're uploading to the internet. You don't know what the secret, you know, you think you're in a loving relationship, but you might be getting secretly video, you know, during like intimate moments. And that's going to be, are you fucking kidding me? This is what's wrong with people, society today. So I wouldn't trust anybody. So everybody's just weirdly like secret camera mad, secret audio mad, secret. We need to get everything on the internet. We need to expose certain types of people. We need to destroy people's lives. Something wrong with society, I'm telling you. And if you seriously think we're evolving correctly in the right way, delusional. And I'm telling you right now, something's going to give, because we can't go on like this as a species. Not a chance in hell. So, and then that's why if that happens to you, and you maybe made a mistake, you met the wrong person, and they've got something on you like that, you fucking own it. Just tell that person to publicise it, and then sue them for distributing pornography on the internet. There's always there's always ways of, you can absolutely take them to the cleaners, I'm telling you. So, and the fastest way to hurt anybody that wants to try and destroy your life is in the pockets. Nobody wants to be losing money, especially in this economy. So, but everybody's so fearful of where we're going with this, because I feel like we're going somewhere. It could be the blackmail plots. I feel like what I think's coming is huge, because when all of these people, 2026 is not the year to be trying. Oh, hello there. Oh, what's coming? Sorry, just give me a moment. Something's coming through. Okay, I can feel some big downloads coming through. Yeah, 2026 is not the year to be complacent whatsoever. Complacent, if you're a good human, if you're a decent human being and you've got nothing to worry about, still don't get complacent. Don't be too trusting right now, because what we're going to start seeing in 2026, it is like, it's the year of literal like justice, accountability, whether people want it or not. So we're going to see a lot of justice. So it's not going to be corrupted justice, it's going to be more divine justice. It's going to be universal law justice, that kind of stuff. People getting what's coming to them, basically, what they're overdue for, what they put out there is now coming back. Karma, you know, goes around, comes around, cause and effect. So that's kicking. I know I've got downloads coming, but my God, there's energy. So that's going to be big in 2026. Now, that's why I don't, when you're a decent human being, you're going to see a lot of erratic behaviour. You're going to see a lot of people like losing their shit. You're going to see a lot of people really, again, I've said earlier, avoid people. When you start seeing people dealing with a karma, you get away from them. Don't let them transfer it onto you. Don't deal with it. The need to deal with it to learn lessons. You cannot continue to treat people the way people do today and think there's no accountability. You have to let them get theirs. Doesn't matter how bad it is. If it's really bad, you've got to ask yourself, what in God's name have you been doing to others to get it that bad? That's what you need to be asking. Not, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. What are you talking about? The need to learn lessons. That's a problem with society today. We're not teaching accountability at all for people's actions. So that's why you need, if you're a decent person or you're, you know, just be vigilant. Do not get complacent. Do not be, you know, people are going to try and find ways to, they're going to be looking for scapegoats and everything. So be careful. Just be careful. Don't be someone's scapegoat just because they've got issues or just because they've got trauma or because they're grieving or anything like that. Don't be people's scapegoats. If you're grieving, get grief counselling, get help. If you're dealing with trauma, get the therapy. Do your research on your therapist. Do what you need to do. But don't be going out there inflicting your trauma or your pain or your grief or anything like that to other human beings. I would not be doing it this year at all. Especially in this energy, we've had major shifts and everything. And secondly, you don't have a right to be doing that anyway. because that's all that's going to do is create more. It's just going to create more trauma for you anyway. It's going to create more issues and problems for you, and you're going to have to just deal with it. You're going to take accountability, but you can't be expecting to look for scapegoats to take on your. And I guess this is right across the board for everybody in all areas of life, but I feel like in the political arena and in the within the dark elite system, especially with the lower order, there's a lot of cults breaking down. There's a lot of secret societies decimating right now. There's a lot of, and I'm telling you, okay, is that what's coming through? Ooh. Paranoid psychopaths in it. Okay, right, it's kicking off. Last year, sorry, 2024, I did paranoid psychopaths. How bad is it getting? Show me. I'm gonna zone into what I want to see about. Okay, right. Paranoid Psychopaths IRDR41. I'll stick that in the contents box, the link, so you can catch it with that one. IRDR41. Paranoid Psychopaths, Gang Stalkers. Right. I was discussing last year. There was a real focus. I was seeing a timeline, a future timeline. I was hitting like a full-blown future timeline of what was going to be happening within the secret societies and like cults. You know what I'm talking about. The problem people, right? Everything that's hidden, everything that's going wrong, that's wrong with them. It doesn't really matter, but we understand what I'm talking about. A lot of the sort of master elders, etc., especially in the Masons, they are, well, a lot of those are going to be done. If they haven't already been removed, taken out. Especially because I know there was a lot of extractions within the sort of Masonic, the Mason sort of, what I was getting from the higher order was, the new army was hitting the top level Mason, the Masonic, the elders, the master elders. A lot of those do tend to have a lot of host a lot of very dark dense energy, reptilians and all that kind of stuff, because of the sort of rituals they get involved in. The new army was absolutely, I believe, if I remember correctly, at the beginning of 2025, they were the first ones to start dealing with the extractions, because they controlled the higher power ranking systems, etc. So as you can imagine, but again, it's all done in the shadows. It's all part of that sort of shadow government too. But they're the ones that are going to be losing their sort of reptilians first. They're going to have all of that energy, that dense low level energy, that what they host, that they're going to have it extracted. Now, unfortunately, because you can remember, a lot of them have been hosting that energy for too long. So a lot of them are not even going to survive the extraction if they haven't already passed over. I know there was something to do with getting their affairs in order and making sure their bloodlines maintain the wealth, but the wealth's going to get taken from them. The bloodline's not going to get future wealth at all, because they've done too many crimes against humanity. Not all of them, but a lot of them have. What they're supposed to stand for, they do not stand for. Now, so I know that, if I remember correctly, I knew that was happening in 2024, that had already started, but I knew it was going to really kick off in 25 within the Freemasons. That was going to start trickulating down their pyramid system. So it was almost like when their elders were passing over, or when their sort of justice hits, everybody below them, it was going to cause a real a domino effect. And what I was really eventually seeing was that was going to cause the weight going from below upwards, making the way up, went straight to the top, because You take away the hierarchical power structure from the top, that just crashes, that just destroys everything, you know, all the way down. So it was like I was sort of seeing that happen. Oh, excuse me. And there was a lot of powerful sort of men in those high structural ranking system. But there again, you know, some of them are in government positions and everything. So a lot of them are going to be, and they're not going to, I'm telling you, if they haven't already received their extraction, they're going to get their dense energy extracted, but their life force, I don't think that most of them, and they're too old. A lot of them are too old as well. So they're not healthy enough to survive it. There's no, like, when the divine justice kicks in, there is no such thing as, okay, well, maybe we'll just give you a little bit of punishment. Hell no. No. You can't be connected to that real devil energy and think you're more powerful than the supreme divine, the God energy. It's just, no, that's delusional. And they know that, but they can't, you know, they don't want to admit it. So there is and that is what's causing major shifts within the political arena, within all of the powerful power structures. So now what's happening also, okay, can I discuss that? I'll come back to that in a moment. I can see what's happening. So that was back then, that paranoia, because nobody was trusting each other within those societies, those systems, those covenants, those fucking idiotic covens of witches and fucking warlocks and all those little sorcerers and shit. And again, they are connected to agencies because of those sort of people that are part of these. So you've got to understand where the really corruption really feeds into all areas of life. Schooling system, every type of system created, that's where these people are. So what was happening is it was causing so much paranoia amongst their sort of structure system that they were starting to turn on each other. Now I feel like in 2026, if you're not, you can do what you want, free will and all that beautiful stuff, right? But if you're part of the societies, etc., you might want to pull back for a while and not be too involved in it in 2026, because a lot of those people are going to be actually turning on each other. They're going to be removing each other off the planet, if you know what I mean, because they all know too much. That's what the 8 higher orders really emphasizing right now. And I was sort of seeing that, I was seeing the early stages of that psychological mentality kicking off back in 24 and IRDR 41. I was sort of foreseeing that. So I'd already hit like a good timeline ahead of time, like a year in advance. And I'm like, Jesus, good luck. I won't want to be anywhere around these people when they are. Because again, because it started at the top, once it starts to go down and more, there's got to be a lot more they need to hide. They're going to be looking for more scapegoats. See where I'm going? So they're going to start taking each other out. Too many secrets. You've got to be very careful. And they are part of the Illuminati and all that fucking weird shit too. These people are all interconnected, but the same hierarchical systems are still in play. I can tell you right now, the new army don't give a flying fuck or flip-flop about how powerful a human being is at all, or what the position of power is. They are ferocious. They are multidimensional. They're here to kill evil, and they were expected. So, and they're killing evil on those dimensions. So, and that is what manifests and affects the physical realm through people. It's a people problem. And the new army, they don't care about feelings at all. They're not here because they're not here to save us from ourselves or to save us from each other. They are to they have one war that they've been fighting for eons. And they're not there's no They are not loosening their grips this round. It is done. That once they've cleared out, it's done. And it will be up to us to decide if we're going to continue this diabolical behaviour in the future. As for the war, okay. Why? Okay, war structures are being restructured. Okay, that might have something to do with, again, that's all to do with the sabotage, and it's all, I feel like what the deep state was trying to do, what the evil ones, I'm just going to call them the evil ones, because they are, you have to be evil, it's a choice, to continue, not only to sort of sabotage, I mean, how treacherous do you have to be to sabotage your own president, to commit wars against your own people and against other nations, and not work with the political structure? That's just how corrupt it is anyway, but it's more than that. They're plotting, they are plotting against him again. Well, I don't think they've stopped, but they're, and I am a bit worried about that. The subway radar system, I mean, if you're going to kidnap somebody, good lord, oh, fruit fly, where did you come from? If you're going to kidnap a high official, or just let's say political figures, and you wanted to kidnap them completely off radar, you'd go into water, wouldn't you? You know, you can watch that last video, but it is a red file, so let's hope it doesn't happen. The intel's out there, the report's ready as well. If any agency that's not corrupted wants it. Okay. Feeling really heavy with that just alone. It's like there's plotting going on. I'm feeling as well like the dark elites, they're like, and you've got to remember the dark elites are part of the problem, what I'm actually talking about. Then you've got the good elites, right? But do you know what it's like? They're just acting on instinct, but they're not thinking properly. Oh, hello there. It's like they're not thinking. It's like they've got 10 plans, like plan A, plan B, plan C. And they're not, when one is foiled, they go straight to the next one, straight to the next one. They're acting on the next one without even, like, taking a breath and going, okay, hang on a minute, what are we doing wrong? Why, you know. But, and that is what's getting them, they're not thinking logically at all, they're not. Because they're running on fear, like they're all paranoid. They're running off that reptilian brain, they're like running on that animal instinct, like, what just do we need to do? Just, why am I connecting to an energy right now like that? Just take it out, do it. Yes, we can do it, we're still in control, we've still got the power, but they haven't. They've got the illusion of it, but they haven't got, they've lost the power, they've lost, so, and the skeletons are coming, you know, they've got skeletons in their closets. Can't hide anything. Everything's going to be revealed. The secrets, everything. Oh, I would not want to be one of the corrupted bad people in this year. New initiates, they're not gonna get in, they're not gonna last 5 minutes. Any new initiates, they're just gonna be they're going to be, it's going to be pointless. There's going to be no real structure. A lot of these people, a lot of these men in these secret society, they're going to be looking at seriously long prison sentences, if not worse. I feel like a lot of them are already on the run, but they're going to get found. Can't hide. Okay, so when you talking about, I was discussing, because I was connected to the Andromedan frequency in the last video, and they were sort of showing me the scenario. You know what it also feels like? There is like underground, there is underwater cities and everything. Like, you'd be amazed at what's created down there if you just tap in. There's like alien structures down there and everything. So you've got to understand, there is a lot of these people, a lot of these agencies, a lot of these governments, etc., global ones, they've been working with extraterrestrials for a very long time, right? So they create these underwater cities, right? You know, waterways, very deep. You'd be amazed at God, we don't even know what's truly down there. But what you've got to understand is the bad, corrupted ones they've always worked with the lower dense sort of extraterrestrials. You know, just because we can't prove it doesn't mean it's not true. But a lot of the intelligence that they get to create and build what they do, but you've also got to remember there are higher dimensional extraterrestrials that also watch and observe. And they don't work with dark human beings like corrupted ones, bad ones. It's all about intention. So they will use their representatives here on Earth, and then they'll send the intelligence out, but to sort of, again, but what's going on right now is there's such a huge focus. I want to know why there's such a huge focus on the ocean, because it feels like if something really bad happens here above ground because of all of these messed up wars, it's almost like they're all going to try and avoid it by hiding under. But I'm telling you right now, the Andromedan frequency, like just tapping into their frequency, that representatives like, no, we're working with a new army. They're not going to hide. We're not going to allow it. They will literally show. I feel like they're going to, if they continue to, they will just expose their underwater cities and everything. It feels like a lot of these people are going to be on the run, but they're going to go underwater. You can't hide from the new army. You can't even hide from the Andromedans anyway. They're high dimensional. They can go anywhere. They can see everything. And I think there's a lot more high dimensional species sort of watching what's going on too. Especially we're going to be dealing with the introduction of them in the coming future, because I feel like that's what they're getting us ready for anyway. But they've got to get rid of they've got to deal with the bad ones, the corrupted, the dark elites, all of that. This is just a people problem. It's just a disgusting corrupted people problem. It's just been going on too long. I think the higher orders had enough of this interdimensional war, because it affects all realms, it affects all dimensions, and it ends up manifesting into this physical realm, and it's all very destructive. But it, you know, again, you want to build an underwater city, that takes money, right? Contracts for that. So, I want to know what happens to these societies that are, if they don't completely decimate. I did actually feel like there was going to be a restructuring. They're going to be replaced. Some of these top positions are going to be replaced by good people, so they continue to do what they originally set out to do without the perversions and that paradigm and all of that fucking weird shit. Like building communities. It's okay to build mental health facilities and stuff like that and put your money there, and no, I don't trust any of that. Not when it's created or built by them. It's an horrible thing. It's great, but there's more to it. There's corruption. There's too much corruption. So there has to be. That's why I don't trust that mental health model. Not when you're dealing with us. No, that's just me though. I'm not speaking for anybody else. I don't like what I'm feeling right now. There's a lot of funding that goes to those places. They're gonna have some of these positions, because they're already, the structures are up and running. They can, once they've got the wrong ones out and gone, they can replace them. They can actually replace them with. They need to put the integrity back into it. They're gonna need good, again, because you can enhance, you can work with the structure, you just got to turn it around. It's got to be dealt with better. That's a process that will take time, but it's like any position, any powerful positions though, you remove the scum, right? You remove the swamp, you know, you drain the swamp, that was supposed to. You get rid of the corrupted people. You can replace them with good deeds, and then you give them a chance to try and make sure they don't get corrupted by the same, you know, what comes with it. But if you're dealing with like really good high vibrational, grounded people that don't get seduced by money in that way, or power and control, then it will work. It can work, but then everything has to change. They have to change they have to restructure everything, but they have to change the way it runs, and that has to start from the top. So it's not like you don't have to necessarily say goodbye to the, and I don't like any secret society, anything that's secret, because there's something shit going on. There's shit going on, something going on. Otherwise, why do you need to keep it a secret? That's how I see that. Oh, why are they connecting again? Just give me a moment, I've got an energy coming in, and it's feeling like why the Silent Brotherhood connecting again? Let's have a look. Don't tap into me if you don't want to be tapped back into. Oh, it's interesting that I'm literally talking about this, and I really don't know enough about these energies, because, and I don't know, it's hard to know if they're dealing with the same problem. You've got the benevolent side of them and the malevolent. But the last time one tapped in, his energy felt benevolent. Like, interesting. Oh God, I've been feeling this for days coming in. I need to know what's going on with the Silent Brotherhood. I don't know if they're trying to get a message from me, or if they're trying to give me a message. Let's find out. seeing a weird altar. I feel like I'm being shown a very echoey large concrete it's not quite like a church, but it feels like okay, the hidden knowledge is in the altar. Oh, saddy. Oh, sad. Oh. Why am I talking about those creatures? Oh, why do I feel like... Oh, okay. Okay, the wall within. A star's head. They're already hiding the knowledge. They hide. Okay. Isn't that what we were doing anyway? It's very strange. Who are they hiding it? Are you hiding it from? Them or us? Hiding it for us. Okay. So from the bad ones then. I feel like I'm, oh God. Ooh. Oh, that's painful, but it's like, I'm assuming there's a bit of symbolism coming through it because it's like the silent. You can't hear because they don't speak. Okay, show me. This is so weird. I feel like I'm looking at text, but it's jumbling. And it's coded different. They're waiting for the key. To decode. As long as the key is hidden, the knowledge stays safe. I'm assuming the bad ones. the key has been hidden for thousands of years. What is going on here? Why do I feel like this energy from this brotherhood is no longer on 3D? You've got to be fucking kidding me. I am just seeing a vision of someone. I don't know who this man is. It's part of the Brotherhood. I am literally seeing a vision, and I'm feeling the pain of him having a nail hammered into his ear for some sort of punishment. What in God's name? The temple echoes their ears, everything is heard. Ooh. Okay. I just felt like I was blocked from saying it anymore. Like I was really going in, and it's like the higher order just put a wall up, like, no, not right now. I'm not quite sure if I was dealing with a victim who was within that silent brotherhood. Quite possibly that would make sense, because I felt like they're not even, I don't know how long, I don't know when. I don't know if this is a punishment ritual that they deal with if they speak, or if they hear too much. Ooh, it's all very, I'm just discussing these secret societies. They're going to start turning on each other. They know too much. It's like they're turning because they know too much. Well, I'm wondering, okay, interesting. I'm wondering now if I'm sort of foreseeing, or if I'm seeing what happened to this member. I'm wondering if that's who's been trying to show me what's coming for the others, how they can easily turn on you. How many will sacrifice themselves to hide the knowledge, hold the knowledge, but they don't have the key. They don't have the key. Okay. He didn't give them the key to the codes. He wouldn't reveal. He wouldn't reveal to the elders, where the key lies. I mean, I don't know if it's, I'm not saying it's a physical key or a literal key. I think it's, there's something, or there is a key to the code, to crack the code, for the knowledge, which means the Masons haven't got it. The secret, probably Rome hasn't even got it. Oh, it's like they can't find it. And those that refuse to, who have the knowledge of the whereabouts, would either sacrifice themselves to take that secret, or they will be punished. Sacrificed. Because they were like tortured. That was so, oh God, that was really painful as well. I just like felt the pain in my ear first, and then but then I was seeing a visual of somebody, this man having, why are they always in robes? Why are they such cowards that they have to hide behind? Again, I understand why in these temples, that they have to wear these robes, is because they know they can be seen. They know they're being seen from different realms, they know. So they think by hiding their cloak, it still hides their identity, but it doesn't hide their energy. You can't hide your energy. Not from the higher order, and certainly not from the new army. Not from a lot of high dimensional beings. Which means there is coded text out there that even these people, these secret societies, these members, that they still don't have the knowledge that they want. They're not going to get it. The higher order will not allow it. The Silent Brotherhood clearly is hiding it, like guiding the knowledge. I'm assuming that's what's happening here. Whew. AI can't translate what they don't understand. It's almost like they're trying linguistics. It's almost like they're trying to use this AI again to somehow translate text, old text, coded text, but AI is new. This is old. They don't know. Because if they don't know what to put, no, that's not, I don't think it's going to, oh, now I understand why they're going to shut the satellites down for the 60 seconds so they can't. Now I understand why they're putting new codes also, as well as the other agenda, but I now I'm understanding why they're going to alter the code. And so what they're teaching AI to do to translate this text, I'm assuming this what I'm seeing, the higher order is going to send in theirs, and no, not today, Satan, right? It's going to be like, compute says no, they're not going to be able to do it. When they try and analyze the codes, the AI is going to be like, they're going to, and they're going to infect the mainframe, I'm assuming, to constantly alter the code as they keep trying to. There's something very important about the coded text. It could change everything. It could change. oh, you don't want that getting in the wrong hands with the dark elites or the evil ones, do you? It's bad enough we have a financially fed evil war business, right? You know, you want to... It's been hidden for so long, it's hidden text, but they won't reveal the key. And they just keep hearing the key's hidden or not. They'll never know where the key is. So it's almost like, in one way, it feels like the Silent Brotherhood are hiding the knowledge, like they possibly know who the key is or where the key is or something like that. And they're trying to hide it. They've been hiding it generational through over, you know, it's almost like they're generationally born into this and continue. And then you got the dark side of that, and still don't know if they're fully good or bad, but the one is benevolent. They could have had they could have had birth in both sides, but it could have got corrupted to like all organisations and societies. But it feels like the hiding, they know if the knowledge was to get into the wrong hands, game over. And they won't allow it. They won't allow it to the point where they will be literally offed, tortured, or they will literally sacrifice themselves. Oh God, and it feels really cold in this temple I'm in. It just feels like, let me go back in. That explains the watches. That explains the ramping up of looking for certain bloodlines back in the 60s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and then before everything was computerised, trying to locate certain bloodlines, because it's the bloodline. It's the bloodline that holds the key. It's the original bloodline. You've got the Watchers and then you've got the Guardians. They have two totally different roles. You've got the Watchers looking for the ones that have access to that hold the key to the code, and then you've got the Guardians that protect and hide the code and protect and hide the key. It's like an internal battle. It's been generational. They've been fighting. One's been fighting to protect this knowledge for centuries. The other side's been fighting to try and find so they can get access to it. And now they're trying to use a different type of, like, in the 80s, they were starting to build technology, especially in the 90s, where everything was data-based, but now that was the technology, but now they've hit a new level of technology, obviously, so it feels like it could, still can't give them what they want. There is a power surge. It's like a global power surge. There is this incessive need to take control of certain areas. Why is there an why? Islands, countries, underwater structures, why they these darker leaves, well, what I'm feeling, they will literally end full bloodlines, even royal bloodlines, royal family bloodlines and everything, just to get what they want. Well, that's not anything new, is it? But it's still, that's still prevalent today, just more obviously hidden. Obviously because murder is illegal in some countries, depending on where you live. This is really dark. You can definitely tell the dark elite have tapped in. That's probably why the higher order put the wall up. Thank God. Because if they're trying to tap in. Oh, I can real telepathically, I'm connected, all I can hear, one of theirs is the key say for now, like, they're very confident by, they'll be manoeuvring, they'll be manoeuvred. Oof, ooh. I feel like I'm going to get my throat chakra attacked. Push through it. So, let's see what they're up to. See what these dark elites are up to. What are they worried about? Okay. Gone right back to the satellites again. And right now, I'm just got that dark elite. Satellite weapons are not working. Ooh, that's some dense energy right there. I'm a little bit concerned about the innocent ones in these societies, in these sort of cults, because I feel like they're the scapegoats. This dark energy, this dark elite energy, they're talking, they're discussing satellite weapons not working, cleaning houses, destroying evidence. The fact that I was focused on they're going to start taking out their own. I'm wondering if this is what they're doing, or this is how they're going to clean their houses and destroy the evidence is also the people. Then I was oh Jesus, Mary and Joseph. There's a power surge happening. I feel like that's to do with the war structures being restructured. Oh, good Lord. Skeletons in closets. Reveal. Opening the closets. Do you know what I feel like I'm dealing with right now? Two fractions. Don't know all types of brotherhoods and stuff like this, but I'm feeling like there's no loyalty amongst thieves and criminals. I'm not quite sure why that's a hard concept for these people to understand, especially when you're the corrupted part of them. I feel like I'm dealing with two fractions of these sort of secret societies and brotherhoods right now, where they are the corrupt, the bad ones are at war with the good ones, but their own. They are literally at war within. The war within has started. That's what. Okay. Unless the war structure is being restructured, that could be to do with the war within has started. This is being very secret society stuff and what's going on in their little weird temples and stuff and behind closed doors and what they're up to, and it all started with skeletons in the closets are going to be revealed. Ooh. I feel like I'm literally in the midst of a secret societal war within. And if it's not happening in this immediate real time, it's gonna start. Ooh, and that's why I was saying, for the good ones, oh yeah, because there's good with the bad, you know. If you're in these, you might want to start pulling back from, for the time being. Just don't get caught up in, it's like they're gonna scapegoats, I'm telling you. Like if you are a member, you might want to limit, if you can, even if you're even allowed to take time off, I don't know how that works, but I don't know if you're forced, if your meetings are mandatory or anything, but I'm feeling like if it was me, what I'm feeling, and if I was a member, I wouldn't want to go anywhere. I wouldn't want to go to the meetings right now for fear of something's being planned. Cleaning houses, destroying the evidence. This clearly, they don't like knowledge. No, it's like, and I just had to go through that full, what happens when you either don't say anything, or you know, if you withhold or you speak, everything has to be hidden. Everything, it's like it's the ultimate sacrifice, is the silencing. You either self-sacrifice or you be sacrificed. This is just some demented shit, very lower order shit. Typical lower order crap, this, I'm telling you. But they don't have access to the knowledge. I'm assuming that's one comforting thought right now, is these very powerful people right at the top of this pyramid system, they don't even have the knowledge, the truth, they don't have access to it, to what they really want, the hidden knowledge, the hidden codes. It's all to do with codes, I'm telling you, it's all to do with, they don't have access to it. They can't find it. They can't find the key. Why do I feel like monks, especially in the medieval era, why do I feel like the monks held the key, held the knowledge of the key? I know Henry VIII. Let me just go somewhere here, because I'm hitting history right now, and history is lies, we know most of it. Why do I feel like Henry VIII dismantled all the monasteries with a cover story of corruption within the, obviously, Rome and the church, etc., and within the convents? Why do I feel like there was more to it? Like they tortured the monks for a specific certain knowledge. I feel like that could be like, I feel like the knowledge was moved around. Rome couldn't get it. The Vatican couldn't get access to it. I mean, it's a good way to, it's a good cover story, isn't it, to use the monks as a scapegoat to destroy their monasteries and take their books and take in everything that they've got. Or they took the books, didn't they? Took everything, the money, the gold, everything. It doesn't feel like that's all they were looking for when they were destroying. Interesting. It's like the monks took the secret to the grave too. They were either sacrificed or they sacrificed themselves again. Ooh, I am wondering if even back then the monks were part of the Silent Brotherhood. Oof, I feel like I'm going right back. That's a possibility. Good Lord, that just took some energy out of me going back right there. I feel like they were looking for something more back then. Hidden secrets, but the hidden knowledge they wanted, that they still want today, they can't get it. It's well hidden. It's cloaked. They're sorcerers. Back then, even the ones today, they can see beyond their cloak. They can't. No, they can't see it. Little witches and even remote viewers and everything. Oh, hey, here we go. They can't. It's cloaked. And it's constantly moving. I'm starting to feel like it's a tangible thing. And you got the religious dogmas back, and even back then, you know, everything was heresy, wasn't it? The books, the Bibles, the text, they didn't want you reading, they would burn it. But was there another reason behind that? The key is cloaked. Only those chosen on this, like even in the secret sort of society, they have the sort of chosen ones that they select. They're chosen to do certain things, guide certain things, watch that, you know, that's why they have an hierarchical, that's why they have a system. Some are chosen to do the spying. Okay, let me get away. I need to come back to this timeline. That was some bit of past. Strange. It's almost like when you think about the monks, again, they wear these long cloaks and they keep themselves practically hidden. It's almost the same symbolic way of hiding themselves when they go to their weird meetings, and it's because they believe they they're cloaking their physical bodies with these robes, but they can't cloak their energies. But it's all to do with hiding your identity. In these days, if you look at it like that, it's just, again, you can't hide your energy. I'm sure they have another reason, but it feels very symbolic. They've only got a limited, it's like there's a limited, oh, hell, I can't speak now. That's what happens when you connect to the dark elites, or they connect to you. It's, right, let me push through. They're on borrowed time. Their time is literally limited to get these, to find the key. I keep going key, it's something to do with this. I'm not quite sure if it's what they just, how they, they're running out of time. They can't find it. By the time, their time is limited now. They're not going to find the key. They are not going to get access to the hidden knowledge that they want. They have access to a lot of other hidden knowledge, obviously, but the true knowledge that they want, that changes everything. No, it's intention based anyway. You because I feel it's so powerful, whatever it is, that it would be completely weaponized by humans, the wrong types of humans, and it would hurt humanity. That's what it's feeling like. It would change. It would change the human structure somehow. Okay, is there anything else? Oh, it's the frequency key. I'm just going to write it as I heard it. If it's a frequency key, they're not going to be, they would have to match the correct frequency to get access. That they're not going to. If you're part of the lower order, you've limited yourselves to certain frequencies. If you can't reach that specific frequency, you're not going to be able to. So the frequency key is constantly cloaked and monitored and hidden. Constantly moved around and hidden. I'm just trying to go as if it's literally. And it's almost like the other side is trying to tap into this frequency to follow, to see if they can find a way to spy on those that are hiding the frequency key. That's what it feels like. But they can't connect to that frequency. It's almost like the blocked. It's clerked anyway, but they're blocked. Their intentions are not pure enough to connect to that frequency. Interesting energy. Ooh la la. Where's my tea? I'm feeling like I need to shush now. That's why. So, I would just say right now, if you are a member of any sort of covenant or any secret society or anything right now, whether you're good or bad, you might want to be careful. There's something clearly going on. Or it's about to kick off. Well, the war within us started, so it could have just started. That's gonna be a major. That's going to ricochet right through the whole pyramid system. When I saw all of this in 24, I saw it all. The way it was all going to collapse and everything from within. The dominoes are falling and everything. It's like a domino effect, literally. It's going to cause a domino effect. I'm kind of glad I came out that weird temple. That was so cold in there. Is there anything else that we need to know? I'm still seeing that wall. So they're clearly blocked. Any more information about the most I'm going to get now is the frequency key. That might just confirm. That may be confirmation for some of those that are like looking for. How is this going to manifest into the physical realm? Well, depending on the power surge that's happening now and the war structures being restructured, that could be happening in the physical realm. That could be a problem within the political arena right now. We are seeing some strange shit going down right now in governments and even across Europe. It's like the whole world's going through a major political power structure change. It's weird. I'm telling you, some of the leaders of these countries are going to get fucking dealt with by the new army. I'm telling you, if they haven't already had their freaking little dense energies extracted yet, there will be. So that's going to cause major. New leaders are going to be put into place. They may just be temporary until elected properly, because there's so much political corruption, as we know, even around the world. Europe right now, I feel like there's the focus right now is Europe. The European leadership structure is so malevolent and just disgusting. There's going to be major changes happening across Europe. I'll get a new army sit rep for that, though. I feel like that's coming through, but not enough intel's coming in yet, because I feel like it's still happening. The monitoring, seeing what's going on. As for the good leaders, the non-corrupted ones that are trying to help the people, it's feeling like they need to just steer the course, like they're going to see changes. I don't know what changes yet or when, but it's like, make sure you're literally on the right correct side right now, because as that power shifts into the full-blown political arena right across the globe, you are not going to want to be on the bad side at all. You'll lose your position. Okay, that's nothing's random out my mouth when I'm channeling. It's clearly something. So there's never a wrong time to do the right thing. So if you're a bit of a piece of shit leading a country and you don't want to be used as a little puppet by the deep state or anything like that, or the globalists, etc., and you want to do right by your people, you will need to start now. You want to turn that around. I don't know what the outcome will be for these set of people, because they're still evil. They're not going to change, but I can't tell people what to do, but do the right thing. It's never a wrong time to do the right thing. You might be surprised by the actual support you get by doing the right thing. This is why I don't like politics. It's so disgustingly corrupted. That United Nations, that's going to go through a cleansing, if that's not already been cleansed right now. Evil, twisted humans in that's going to go through a cleansing. Oof. I already knew that was coming. I got that. That's one of my intuitive intelligence, my green files. So you can, again, if you want to just sort of catch up, really I would definitely start from 2024, February 2024. Start with the IRDR 21, 22, all the way up. They are sort of in order, so it's feeling like when I'm discussing like how is it affecting the manifesting into the 3D, I feel like it's all been happening, but really, because I knew we were at the precipice of something big that was happening within these systems, but and as soon as the dark matrix got infiltrated by, was infiltrated with Yeshua's codes anyway, I knew stuff was going to start changing rapidly, like we are, because it's altering but there is still a pushback. We'll keep pushing back, I just got to stay the course, that's all. Just patience. But there's major shifts happening. Energy shifts, everything's shifting. And that's why it's so hard for the corrupted ones and the dark elites and all of that to really stay focused on their agendas, because they've got so much they need to get done in such a because they've lost so much human-made time, haven't they? They've lost time in the way they function. They've lost power, so now they're just, again, it's that erratic sort of behaviour where they're not thinking clearly. It's almost like they're all arguing with each other amongst themselves. Oh, hello there. It's like they're literally, who's going to take control now? Who's going to take the power? Who's going to be in charge? Who's going to be the next master elder? Who's going to be this? It's like, and it's irrelevant because it's all crashing down. It's all collapsing. Just when one takes it's almost like when one takes the role, the extraction's done again, and then it's like, we lost another one. Oh crap, now we're gonna, it's weird, but that's how it's looking and feeling. And it's going to continue to do that, and then that's going to start showing to everybody, you know, everybody in all of the others that are like sort of looking up at their elders and their higher ranking, and like, what is going on here? Universal law, justice and karma, that's what's happening. So I don't feel like there's anything. So I do, on the political arena, I feel like those that are, President Trump's not going to be able to do anything about those that want to sabotage his presidency or his decisions or whatever he wants to do. It's not going to happen. But he's an intelligent man, so he's just going to be able to, while they're all doing their erratic shit, he's probably thinking about 10 backup plans, you know, to work around them. You're not going to work with them or can't work against them, but you can certainly work around them. That's what I'm feeling like he just needs to focus on doing right now. And to, again, watch the loyal ones that are not traitors. Need to really watch his back and really protect him right now, because I just feel like there's something else that they're going to implement. And again, using the ocean, waterways, subway systems. So, and I do feel like they're going to try and sabotage the satellite. That's really what was really coming through. They're going to sabotage. They're not just going to sabotage what he's trying to do, but they may use his satellite systems to sabotage his abilities to deal with these wars. It's weird. I feel like there's a lot of smoke and mirrors too. I feel like there's a lot of weird smoke and mirrors. I'm not interested in anything the news says, produces at all, because what is happening is involving all of these types of powerful people, because there's so much going on. It's like they've got coming to an end. It's weird. Everything's so timing is everything with these people. It's so weird. They're running out of time here. They're running out of time to find the frequency key. They're running out of time for this. They've lost power, so now they're running out of time to implement the new agendas. And wow. Do you know what it feels like? Their whole structure of what they've built, their whole weird matrix, it's just in absolute chaos. It's like it's it almost feels like it's badly managed. No one's taking orders properly. No one's. I can't explain how it feels. It's dysfunctional. Very strange. So be careful. Because whatever they implement, whatever they do, will manifest and affect the 3D, because they still have that sort of weird control over mechanisms and weapons. People are weapons. We have to remember that too. Scapegoats, guinea pigs, technology. It's a weird year. I mean, this is a year where you might want to just learn how to just enjoy your own company and be away from certain types of people for a little bit of time. I'm not saying be a hermit, because not everybody can be a hermit. I mean, I love my own company, so that really don't bother me at all. But not everybody can do that. Not in this programmed society, the way the minds are programmed. Nobody can be alone. It's weird. That's weird. Everybody should learn how to be alone, to learn about yourself, to really go within, you know, and learn a lot more about than what you're learning out exterior anyway. But again, that's not for everybody. Not everybody can do that. But if you can, it's feeling like take some time to pull away from everyone and everything you don't need to be around in this sort of weird season, this 2026. It's a good time to sort of sit back, take a seat back and just watch everything play out. And it's a good, that way you can't get drawn into it. You won't take on other people's karma and stuff like that. I'm just staying way too busy to be, you know, too busy either on my own, or I'm just trying to stay too busy where I'll be out there to the people when I'm needed, but otherwise I'm watching everything playing out. It's like a fucking movie. It's great. It's been well overdue though. Got to be very careful about who's entering. I'm very careful about who's going to be entering my life this year. There's no way I'll be doing vetting and then parapsychological vetting, remote. I'll be literally tapping into people in energies and everything before I start trusting anyone or anything with anything. I don't trust people anyway. I don't need to. I don't need to trust people to help them at all. So that was clearly coming out for a reason. Maybe there's people that were feeling like that too. I feel like it's one of those years or seasons, because there's so many shifts. There's major shifts happening, right? If you're trying to find a way, it feels like if you can find a way to pull back for a year, take some time to, I know you still got to earn a living, but take some time to say to your peoples, I'm doing some me time. I don't know how long I need to reconnect to myself and take some time out to get back with nature and things like this. And if people have a problem with that, then they're not your people. They want you, no. Now it's a little bit different when you've got children and things like that and you've got responsibilities. That's going to be even harder. But if you can find a way, because then what will happen is, the moment you pull back, you're going to see for yourself who shouldn't be in your life, who you shouldn't be around. the areas you need to fix and change and everything. Even within yourself, there'll be areas of accountability you've got to take, or okay, yeah, I messed up here, yeah, that happened, that's my fault for being too trust, that kind of stuff. Reevaluation completely, and then really sort of tapping into trying to get some real self-actualization, because I feel like this is the year where you're going to need to be very self-actualized and self-possessed and everything, just to remain grounded, and because there's going to be a hell of a lot going on, and you're going to need to use serious discernment, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be dealing with weird stuff like, and the enticements, and again, when are you going to be used as a scapegoat? You're going to need to use your discernment. Who is this person? Why are these people suddenly? You need your discernment like top notch, top tier, and you got to stay away from low tier people. They'll drag you right down. They won't help you in this, not during this universal joke, this weird, it's not a good year. It's a great year if you've been on the right side and the good side and you're a half decent human being. It's going to be a great year for that, but there's still going to be a hell of a lot going on around you because there's so many that are not, and they're going to be getting theirs in so many ways. So just that's why I think if you end up getting your beautiful like Dharma, and and you really embracing what you've been waiting for patiently, and it's all coming in, the fruits of your labour and everything, right? This is the year where you want to pull back away from everybody so it doesn't get sabotaged or stolen or affected by anybody either, because those that see you sort of growing and really, getting on everything that you've worked hard for, jealousy and envy will always be there. But at the same time, while those sort of people are going through that, the other side are going through their karma. So they're going to be literally trying to grab onto anyone and anything that can transfer their fucking bullshit to, and sabotage people's success and everything. That's why I feel like it's weird. I was saying, if you're part of this society or anything like that, find a way to pull back and not be involved in it so much this year, just so you can sort of see what's going on, especially if you're not doing anything untoward, or you're not involved in like corruption or illegal activities or anything, or any gang stalking or anything, because that's but just as a normal civilian, the principle's the same for them. Just be careful if you're expecting your turnaround is coming, whether it's going to be positive or negative, depending on your cause and effect. So, and that's why the same thing, try and pull away so you can get it all, embrace it and enjoy it, and not have it affected by other people that want to take it from you and stuff like that, depending on what it is. But I can't tell people what to do, because that's beautiful free will, but that is just my recommendation if you want to take that little bit of unsolicited advice. So I know I will be. I'm going to be embracing this year. And interestingly enough, if you think about it as well, if you've suddenly gone through a complete where you've lost almost everybody, like I have, everybody that was not for my highest good, that should not have been in my life, family members and everything, they've been stripped out. They've literally been either ripped out of my life, or I was ripped out of theirs. I swear to the gods above and the supreme divine, this last 5 years, oh my, it has been like, wow. And again, even my oldest, I don't even have a best friend anymore. That friendship was literally ripped after over 30 years. Yeah, nearly 40 years. And that was the final one. And that is like, wow. But even as it was happening, the divine was like, and my guardians are like, do not react. You've evolved. Just focus. Get out the dodge. Focus. Go here. And I was guided away from it all. And I didn't even like, don't get me wrong, it broke my heart. But at the same time, it was like, I feel like I feel free. What just happened here? So there's a lot of re-evaluating I had to do. I had to really go in major introspection. I had a full, just sort of full week of, holy shit, that was the final part of the ending of all cycles, gone, everything. And I just came out, I just got to the end of the year like, I've got a blank canvas. I've got a literal, beautiful blank canvas with no drama, no responsibilities, no one holding me back, no bullshit, no liars, no backstabbers, nothing. Beautiful, pure, blank canvas. And there was something very liberating and free about it. And I feel like if that's how you're feeling right now, that you've gone through something similar, do not even start painting on that canvas yet. Be guided. Just, if you've got a blank canvas, pull away from everybody just for a little bit longer, because I feel like you're going to start getting guided on what to do next, where to go to next, who to connect to next. I think that the guidance is going to come in that way. And then do things differently. If you've got rid of addictions and habits, fantastic, stay there. Don't go back. Just keep moving forward. Small steps, day by day. That's all you've got to do. And then if you can find a way to get into that beautiful, authentic energy, truly authentic, something that makes you a complete one-off amongst 8 billion people, if you can find a way to get into that energy, especially during 2026, find out what makes you unique besides the rest, you are going to evolve and ascend so effing fast, because that is the fastest energy to ascend, to really evolve and ascend in. Love and light, love's the high, one of the highs, obviously we know that, but authenticity, that cracks the matrix and everything. That just destroys the whole system. If every single person could tap into their own true authentic selves, the world would be a completely different place. But they've been cloned for a reason. They've been programmed to compete when you shouldn't compete with anybody but yourselves. But they want everybody competed and distracted, thinking, no, not for me. I'm not that. I'm not programmed. So, okay. So I hope that little bit of advice at the end helps a little bit. Oof. Okay. Is there anything higher over? Anything else before I clock out? Before the dark elites start attacking my throat chakra. Just an energy. It's just energy. Okay, very good. So, right. So I'm going to close this out at 9:55 p.m. Clock out 9:55 p.m. So now, obviously, green files, my red files, I'll be allocating a red file to a group. I'm going to edit certain parts of it, certain things that I don't want to go out to all, because it is still exclusive intel. There'll be certain some of it I will be editing, but the edited version, the main version will remain the same in the red files, but I will do a shorter edited version for the green files, just so the collective can still get access to it, but not all of it. Because I still feel like the higher orders, like there's still stuff within here that needs to be out there too, others too, just to civvies. It's interesting. I can't believe I went right back to freaking Henry VIII. Some weird stuff there. So, just a quick update. I'm going to say this only because I'm getting weird hits that my little enemies are putting together taking my photos and creating data, putting me on dating websites and stuff like that for catfishing reasons or whatever, scamming. I don't date at all. So, and I most certainly do not date online. I don't do any of that. So if you're coming across me on fucking Tinder and shit like that, I don't think so. Not a chance in hell. Not my cup of tea. So if suddenly my pictures are on any weird, that's not me. They're being created by enemies, problem people. You're not going to find me on any other social media, just my Patreon page where you become a member, my one YouTube channel at Butterfly and Karen, and my professional website drkarenmakowski.com. That's it. You're not going to find me anywhere else. You start seeing me all over. I do know, looking at my stats, my content has been shared 98,000 times just in 2025. So obviously people are sharing the links. Now I don't know if they're using to create fake pages to pass as their own to try and scam basically and steal my intellectual property. I can't do anything about that. But that's the reason why I changed and I did things a little bit differently this year with my Patreon page, so I can sort of at least control and I have a better idea of where it's being distributed to if it is being stolen and shared. But they would have to pay, to get access to it. And then again, it's not going to go out if they are trying to be an imposter and claim that they're me. It's not going to go out correctly, is it? Because the clocking times, it's not right. It's not going to tally up. So there are ways to see, to understand the fakes. Again, I don't ask for money. I don't take services. I don't offer services or anything. Nobody works for me. No one's affiliated with me. Which means if people are out there sharing my content, trying to make money, scamming people, please don't give anybody money at all. And if you're not sure, reach out to me at drkarenmakowski.com. There is a submission. You can type everything you need to do. Let me know what's going on. Or you can just basically, if you know you're dealing with scammers and frauds, report them to the FBI, especially here in the United States. They do have an online sort of, all of that fraud, online fraud and stuff that you can report it to. That's their job, to investigate. So, and then you can report it to the sites you finded them on, if it's on Facebook or anything. I'm not on Instagram, not on anything, not TikTok. But if you're seeing any fraud, fake pages and stuff, report them as imposter sites. They're not real, fraud. And that way you can help others not get scammed by these people. These are disgusting people. They're everywhere. So, and they're probably my haters. I do have haters because I'm doing something right, aren't I? You only get haters when you're doing something right. You don't get haters, right, when you're doing something wrong at all. And nobody takes an interest if you're being a little submissive little puppet and a program puppet to the system, and you're complying, right? You're not going to be targeted or anything. Nobody's going to give a shit about you. Nobody's going to be interested in you at all, right? Oh, it's okay. That one's still... No. If you're doing what they don't like, if you're going against the grain, if you're authentic, if you're doing things differently, right? And then all of a sudden you're being gangstalked and stuff like that, and you're being villainized and all that kind of weird shit, slandered a whole lot. It's because you're doing something right. And they hate it. Everybody hates it. And especially when you're a truth speaker and stuff like that, you're hated more, obviously. So that's how you know. And you will gather more haters, and a lot of it's envy and jealousy. Remember, a lot of people don't know how to be authentically themselves. They don't even know who they are. So if you're a little bit different to them, especially if you're different and you're an authentic weirdo like me, yeah, one, I'm going to stand out, and two, I don't really care. But that's going to make people hate me more, because now they're like, oh, well, why you? Why do you get to be so special? I don't think so. But I'm just taking the piss. But why do you get to be authentic and different and not act like the rest of us? Well, you just answered your own question. That's the problem. Because I'm not a follower. I don't follow the herd. So, and because I don't follow the herd and I'm not programmed like that, that annoys people, because they know they're programmed and they know they are enabling the problem in the first place. So, yeah, you're going to deal with that. And then you're going to deal with the scammers, and then you're going to deal with the jealous little haters that just want to ruin your reputation and destroy your character and everything, assassinate your character. And then you get stupid weird bitches, right? Oh, well, let's put her all over Tinder. Let's put her all over these dating sites. The same ones that they're all on, by the way. You know what I mean? So they know what they're doing, they know what to do. But no, that's not me. Nobody's going to be dating me online, I don't think so. And I don't date anyway, so I'm not on the market at all. So, I am not available for dating or anything like that. So so those are just, you know, straight from the horse's mouth, my mouth. I'm telling you where I am, what I'm doing, what I'm not, so you don't get caught up with these stupid people. I'm just kind of looking forward to 2026, actually. I've been looking forward to this year because I know a lot of these, my little trouble-causing haters and problem people, they're going to get dealt with this year, whether it's for the legal system or... But then again, I don't have any faith I don't have any faith in this legal justice system at all. You're joking, right? So the people I'm dealing with, they're all in bed with each other, literally. So, no. I'll just leave it to universal justice and karma, and then I'll just... Again, I'm not going to gloat, but I'll be watching, like, I'll know anyway because of what I do. So, but I feel like there's, you know, it's coming because, you know, it can't go on for too long. So, I'm just dealing with silly little witches more than anything. Jealous little, bitchy little witches, right? That's what I deal with on a daily basis. And whatever else that I don't know extent, I don't care as long as I'm put my protections and all. Don't care about witchcraft and stuff like that. I'm far too self-possessed to worry about that kind of crap. And I don't give it credence. So, and I leave that to I just leave that to God, basically. So, I hope you enjoy. Stick around. I like to try and get at least 4 of these out a month, so 1 a week at least. And if it's a little bit of delay getting one out, it just means there's probably a lot more intel coming in, and it's just, you know, it might take a little bit longer to get it out. But I don't. And sometimes, just as I'm about to release something, the higher order might say pull it back, so they may have foreseen something that could affect. Many reasons, but I just followed the higher order and the divine, and that's it. So, if you have any questions, you can always send me a question. I will put links in the links in too, so just sort of catch up. But if you really want to sort of catch up on everything that I feel is literally coming to pass now to the surface, it's all happening, is, yeah, probably from February 2024 all the way up, right through to Donald Trump and President Trump's sort of playlist too, because so they're all interconnected, they're all in sequential order of his plots and everything, and it's just weird, that poor guy. Just don't get a break, does he? So, other than that, I'll see you all again very soon.